Hello, 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 YouTube. What is up, guys? I coming to you live. I want to start coming to you live more often from the gym, and also in this format. So if you're coming on to the live line, make sure you say hello. Hello, Hema. So glad you're here. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my videos, supporting my videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos here on YouTube. I'm putting a lot more attention. You're getting more videos on a regular basis. I want to continue doing that. I also want to add this live element to YouTube. I want to take advantage of that. You guys may know that I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I have for years, but I want to bring some of that here. I want to bring some of that here to YouTube. So, Hema, this is your first time looking at your videos. Hey, make sure that you subscribe. Thanks for being here at Hema. Hey, how did you, I'm just curious because I've been posting videos on YouTube, but I really haven't worked hard to master it and do all the patterns and build an audience. And that's what I want to put more time doing. But how did you find me? Did it just pop up because it was live? You know, I don't even know. Did they have a feature of just live videos? Or you subscribed and you were notified that I went live? Tell me about that. And if you are on this live broadcast, make sure you say hello. If you want to see videos, I'm in the gym every single day shooting videos, and as you can see, there's a lot more videos that I'm pumping out on a consistent basis. But I want to create the videos that you want. All right, so you know, I've gone through my entire journey bodybuilding and training for 28 years, and I have a certain perspective of what I think you need or what I felt I needed back at the time. But would be even better than that is if you told me what you think you need, and I can create it for you. I can create it for you. All right, so like I said, I got to tell you, I got to jump into this. You know, are the live? Is it being? Did you get it by email? Let's see. One of my good friends, Tariq Haqq, told me about your training. Awesome. Okay, so you're subscribed, Hema, and then what happened? You saw it pop up on the video that Skip LaCour is now filming live. Good to know. Good to know. 4 people watching. That's an improvement from the times that I've gone live. I think I'm gonna get. I think that you know, part of it is to be consistent, finding the right time and being consistent with it, so you guys know what to look forward to, and then of course delivering great content. So that's what I plan on doing. Getting more consistent, having great content. Like I said, the amount of views, although, you know, I'm nothing like some of these other guys with their 10,000 views the very first day they post a video, but I'll take my 100 views on the first day like you guys have been doing. Before I would get like 35 views the entire time I had the videos, and I just kept on pumping them out. And before I kind of broke down and learned the strategy of, you know, what to actually produce. Sometimes it's not the video content, it's how you title it, what subject matter you talk about before you branch on to whatever you talk about. There's certain things like keywords, and you know, I didn't pay attention to any of that. So I really wasted a lot of time creating a lot of what I felt was great content, but I didn't do all those things, so nobody saw it, right? So you know, I am paying a lot more attention to that now. Let's see. I was a person that weighs 175 pounds and struggle to lose weight, but managed to be successful. Okay, you're currently 133 pounds. You know, one thing is, you know, guys, one thing I've noticed, and this might be helpful to you, is that all the fitness channels and giving out advice, and when they say, you know, their improvement, or you know, how much a person, you know, weighs, and all those type of things. I'll tell you what, it's so misleading. right? Because they never talk about how tall the person is, right? That is massively different. They say that 1 inch is the equivalent of 10 pounds. So, for example, if you were 5 feet 10 inches tall, right, and you weighed, I don't know, 200 pounds, well, that at 5'10", at 5'9", he would be 200 pounds, but he would look significantly bigger. 10 pounds of muscle, they say, every inch, right? So if you think of a guy who's 5'10", who weighs 200 pounds, and a guy who's 5'9", who weighs 200 pounds, that could look massively different. So everybody kind of just throws out the weight, and you don't hear the other side, and it's very, very misleading. I hear things like, oh, as a natural, you can't weigh over 2 pounds lean, right? Well, first of all, lean is relative, right? I mean, but the other thing is, what if the guy's 6'3"? What if he's 6 foot, 5'11"? That's a lot different than, see, a lot of people, like, I don't know, they're like, a lot of bodybuilders are shorter, let's say, and they're 5'6", 5'7", right? And they've trained for 20 years, and they weigh 180 pounds. Just say they're 5'6", right? Which, I guess that's pretty good, right? And so then they're natural, and then they say, well, the other guy he's 200 pounds. No way can you be a natural at 200 pounds. Well, what if he's 5'11", like 5 whole inches, taller than you, right? And you're, what did I say, 180 or 160, whatever it is, right? That's like 50, that's 5 inches. It would look the same on the smaller guy. That's like 50 pounds, all right? And they will look the same. So again, so one guy's 5'6", 180 pounds. Then I'm kind of getting, just say 5, he's, let's just say, he's 5'6", okay, 150 pounds, and one guy's 5'11", 200 pounds. They're really dimensionally the same, even though one's 50 whole pounds bigger. That's how much that height is. You really, when every time someone says their weight, and then whether that's possible, whether they're drug-free, I hear this all on the internet. I mean, you got to at least entertain their height, because that's a huge factor that is never talked about. You can't say, you can't ever weigh this amount and ripped, right? It depends on the height. I'll tell you, what made me really think about it, and I've seen this all the time, right? People assume that people are the same height as them, and they can't break a certain weight, so they think nobody can. Well, a guy who's 5 inches taller than you can break that weight pretty easily, and you could be a lot better than him at the same time, even though he weighs significantly more. So there was a gentleman, and he was talking about how much weight he lost and this whole transformation that he made, right? And, I met this gentleman. I've seen him before in person. And actually, I was surprised. He's like 6'3", 6'4". And he was talking about, I used to weigh 333 pounds, and I've lost, 50 pounds and 60 pounds. Well, I'll tell you, it was great. His transformation was great. And he lost a lot of body fat. Good for him. But I think when you talk to a regular person, I mean, I don't know, the average height in the world is for men, it's probably not more than like 5'8" or 5'9" is average height. And so here's this guy like 6'3", 6'4", talking about him weighing 338 pounds before he lost weight. Again, which is great, it's significant, but it isn't like a 5'9" guy weighing 330 pounds. This guy was 6'3", 6'4". I was actually surprised how tall he is, because you can't see that on the camera. And even if he would have to tell you every 5 minutes that he's 6'4", right? So it's always important, and I think that's a big element that's always left out when you're trying to compare and contrast and learn from YouTube experts about what's possible, what's not, how you match up. Because I'll tell you, most guys you're watching, if you met them in person, they'd be a lot shorter, and they wouldn't be as big as they appear on the camera. Especially if they're really good at what they do and they have the right lighting, it's an illusion. If they're ripped because this is their occupation, you may love training, right? But you're not going to give up all the good foods, and you're not going to may not suffer. You may not want to go to that extreme. Well, that's his identity. That's his occupation, right? Is being ripped. The more he'll get, the more ripped, and the more sacrifices he makes with the food, the more ripped he becomes. The more views, the more popular, the more whatever. He's got so much writing on getting ripped. And I'll tell you, when you get really lean, it just casts off this enormous illusion of being bigger than you are. And usually, you know, unless they're really insecure, they're going to say, oh, I'm not that big. But see, I'm really confident. So let's just see, like, here's my arm. You know, I don't know what that looks like to you. I'm a 55-year-old man. I'm proud of what I am, right? You'd be surprised how small my arms are. They're not even close to 20 inches. I bet my arms aren't even 17 inches right now. I should kind of do that one time, right? I'll tell you a funny story. I went to the Arnold Classic. There was one guy who, you know, knew me over the years as a bodybuilder. And, you know, just because of how my arms are shaped and things like, he goes, how big are your arms? How big are your arms, right? And, you know, I never measure mine because it doesn't matter how big your arm, it's the illusion that it cast off, right? And anyway, my wife, we were on the plane and she happened to have a tape measure, right? And this was after I retired from competitive bodybuilding and everything like that. And she goes, she kind of slipped. I didn't really even want to know because I knew they weren't as big as everybody thinks, right? They're not like 20-inch arms or anything like that. But even I was surprised how small they were, right? I think they were barely 17 inches, right? So you need to remember that when it comes to weight and the illusion. Like, I'm very proud of my arms, but it's the shape and my development and my leanness. It's not some 20-inch arm. So remember that when you're on YouTube and people say what can be accomplished, what can't be accomplished, how much he weighs and things like that. You know, most of the YouTubers are probably shorter men. They're really ripped because it's their identity and because, you know, they got to get up in front of the camera. You know, that's what they do. You don't shoot videos all the time, right? Unless you do, right? It's something that they must do. You know, I hope you guys are on my Facebook page, and that's at Skip LaCour page. Make sure you're there because, you know, each, you know, person they favor or they, you know, their one social media platform. And mine has been Facebook over those times. And I do live videos all the time. I train all the time. You guys here on YouTube, you get the produced version. So I'm in the gym training live, right? And, you know, I got the iPad going and then I have this 4K camera going at the same time, right? While I train. And then what you get here on YouTube is I take that 4K quality and I chop it up and edit it. I take out all the gaps in between, all the extra sound. And so that's what you get on YouTube. But go to my Facebook page, and that's at Skip LaCour page. I'll make sure that I post that because I'm doing live videos like almost every single day in the morning. And many of them, they're training. At least I'm doing a few sets. Well, you guys see the condensed version. But if you just want to see me more training, make sure you're over there. And as I develop this more and more and more, you know, I want to come to you live here on YouTube more. Like I said, I'm going here right now, and there's 7 people watching. I am, you know, you got to start somewhere, and I'm glad you 7 are here. That might be 6, and then my other monitor here. So anyway, so I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. So Hema says, that is so true. I trained for 1.5 years, and I get results from dedication. Awesome. Hello, Ravi. Ravi. You know, Ravi, right? I'm just going to talk to you, right? You know, as you know, this is my passion, helping out people who are like me, into fitness, love it, maybe make a career out of it. I tell you, I want to help our brothers, guys like you and me, Ravi. But I tell you, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because the more muscle you have, the more you know about fitness, the more certification. I mean, it's just I want the least you go and you make a business out of it where you can take care of yourself and your family. All right, so there's so many of us, you know, who build muscle and know it, and we help people and we're good at what we do, but we don't take care of ourselves. We don't take it over the top, right? And I got to tell you, it's the most frustrating thing in the world because, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years. I had my website 20 years ago. The DVDs, all the things that I've done. And I want so much. There's so many fitness people who are selling themselves short in their other areas of life, and they're so good at what they do. But I'll tell you, it's the most non-receptive group. You know, they'll just say, you know, that's not important. And then they suffer, and they get older. And I tell you, I see them when they become 50 years older. So you're going to get older. You got to do something now. I so badly want to come into your life, shift some things so you make the most out of what you love to do and help people, not compromise, not go out and get a regular job, but there's things that you got to do or you're going to continue to suffer. I swear to God, it's my passion to help all of us make those breakthroughs so we don't have to suffer. But I can't get you to send me the email. I can't get you on the phone. I don't care how much I make myself available. I guess everybody has their time and when they're ready and they're going to reach out. I've just had so many mentors help me out over the years. I'm so thankful for what they've done to help me, but I went out and grabbed it. Maybe it's not your time, Ravi, but I want to help you, man. I want to help you. So Hemi says, I'm 5'5" in height. Awesome. Okay. See, that puts it more in perspective that you're 133 pounds at 5'5", So Moses, what's the best cutting diet? You might notice that when I give answers, they seem like complex. Sometimes it's not just a straight answer. I know how that can be frustrating, Moses. But here's the deal. If it was just like Google cutting diet and then that just worked, and sometimes it's not if it works, it's that does the person accept it? Do they have enough confidence when they get this cutting diet that they actually follow through to see if it actually does work? There's a lot of psychology that goes into training strategies, any strategies, right? And I've just helped out so many people for so many years. See, when there's an internet full of diets, right, there's basic organizing principles to it, without getting complex. And the bottom line is you got to have a certain macronutrient ratios. It doesn't have to be so precise. It could be generally protein, carbs, and fats. And then, I know macros are just the total macros. It's just one step further than the total amount of calories. Back in the day, it was total calories, and then you break up the macros. Now, it's just you go for that macro number. But when you go for a macro number, you're really counting your calories too. Sometimes people don't really understand that. And when it comes to calories, again, even if the macronutrient isn't precise, like this is off 5 points, 5 percentage points this way, it really comes down to calories ingested versus calories burned at the very basic level. So the cutting diet is going to have that element. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to cut calories. You can't do it drastically. You could do it drastically, but the most healthy, sustainable way is a gradual, right? Eating fewer calories than you burn out. You can't go on the internet and find out exactly how much, because your body weight, how much you're burning. Each body burns them differently, and if you're off by 200, it does make a difference. So it puts you in the ballpark, and then you create that deficit, right? There's no magic to it, but there's the right approach that fits your personality, that you believe in, that you're ready to commit, right? So a lot of times when somebody, what's the best cutting diet with an internet full of diets, it means to me is that, look, I know I've got some suffering to do, some sacrifice. I got some uncertainty to work through because everybody wonders, am I losing muscle mass? Is there an easy way to do that? I get that. There's always going to be uncertainty. I mean, hell, I could have done my 30th contest in my 15th year of competing, and I'm not 100% certain, right? So you're not going to be certain, but you still got to go for it. And when someone says, with the internet full of what's the best diet or what's the best cutting diet or whatever, with an internet full of diets, what it means is that, look, I'm going to put my willpower, focus, energy, and time into this. There's so much information out there. I don't want to waste my time with an inferior diet. I don't want to lose muscle. I don't want to do any unnecessary suffering. And if I can enjoy foods along the way, I want to enjoy as many foods as I can. And that's what I hear when someone says, what's the best cutting diet with an internet full of diets, right? And I get all that. But you know what? You're going to have to just pick one, learn from it, and make adjustments along the way. The best diet is the one that you can commit to, you can believe it, and then get on that path and then make the adjustments, right? But it's the basic organizing principles that are going to do it for you. I'll tell you, I think the best foundation to a diet to get you primed to make any diet work is to get really clear on your vision, your goals, why you're going to go on this journey, why you're going to sacrifice, why you're going to go through this uncertainty, why you're going to stick with it through good times and bad times, through that uncertainty where you're going to doubt yourself. Why am I dieting? Why don't I just have the pizza with my boys? I've had a stressful day and I can't eat anything. I'll tell you, even right now, you know, like Moses, like with my diet, I'm cutting, right? Getting lean. You know, like I used to just indulge in peanut butter. That would be my one thing, right? It just was a source of relief, of pressure. I work very early in the morning, late at night. I got a stay-at-home wife and 2 kids, you know, on their way to private school. I got to work really hard. You know, someone said to me, you know, on on Facebook, man, this guy is going live all the time. Yeah, because I've got a gift. I've got 28 years. I got a lot of knowledge. I got a lot of things to share. You got this whole gosh darn internet, right? You know, I work from my home. This is one of my studios. I got another filming studio / cardio room. I got my home office. My whole upstairs is what I've been doing for 28 years. It's my profession, and I love doing it, and it's fun. I'll tell you, this isn't like a job where, you know, I'm digging ditches or out in the sun building houses and doing something physical. This is work to me. This is fun, right? But I do work a lot, right? And, you know, part of this is, you know, if I'm going to be fit, I got to be fit. You guys notice the cheekbones. You notice if I'm ripped or not, right? If I'm doing that illusion, you know the level of a person's dedication comes to you as your fitness. You guys instinctively know, or you subconsciously pick it out how dedicated he is and his diet, right? I can't eat that peanut butter. You know, I have to be connected. What am I trying to do? How does it go to my brand? How does it go to my message? You know, how do I feed my family, right? What do I need to do, right? Do I want that peanut butter more? See what I'm saying? It's not just about, you know, the abs. It's not just about the muscle, right? It's not just about the diet. You got to connect it to why you're doing all of this, right? And then you'll find the strategy. You'll take the chances. You'll get the most out of it. I think the best primer for any diet is you knowing exactly why it's so important to you. That's why, you know, I inject personal development in everything I do for that exact reason. I hope that's helpful. I know that a lot of times we just want a black and white answer, but I know that I could say, do this diet. Okay, Moses, this is what you do. But what happens? You know, you're just like everybody else, like me. You know, you go on a journey, you kind of feel confident. Sometimes you have your good days, bad days. We all want more progress faster than we're actually getting. We all wonder if we used a different diet, if that could be better than the one we're on. And then guess what? You got some guy who's, you know, crazy passionate and he's really determined and he's amazing and he looks amazing and he has this diet that's different than one that we're doing. And then we go, we're uncertain, right? So your diet, with so much information and so much people giving you diets, your level of certainty is going to be the most determining factor, more than the calories and the macro breakdown. Let's see here. So Hema says, my goal is to get that fitness model physique, but I think I need to step up my training because I'm stocky. Well, you know, you do the best you can. Stocky is just the genetic shape of your physique, you know, getting lean, developing all the muscle. But we just do the best with what we have. We just do the best with what we have. Ravi says, can you elaborate why pre- and post-workout supplementation are critical when it comes to building muscle and preventing muscle catabolism? See, I don't know if I believe that, Ravi. I mean, I've taken quite an evolution. Right, and let me kind of explain what I'm talking about here. So Ravi's talking about, you know, pre and post workout, nutrient timing and all that. And, you know, you got to understand, when I was a 6-time national champion, drug-free bodybuilder, it was everything. It was my identity. It was my profession. You know, I represented a supplement company, and I wanted to be the best. And I was writing books and DVDs. That's how I made my living, right? So if something, I don't care if something took me 2 extra hours a day. If I believed it made even a 2% difference, I was willing to do it. All right? Let me just tell you something, Ravi. That's fitness experts. We're friggin' zealot, passionate. Even when we think we're so balanced, we're not. We'll do anything, you know, for that 5 more pounds of muscle, right? Lose that fat to have the ultimate physique. That's why we become fitness experts, right? And the thing about it is we're not in regular people's shoes, right? So the thing is, you'd be surprised how many supplements I don't put in my body, okay? And I'm going to come out with this, but it's just important how I describe it. I don't want to shake too many people's worlds. If they're a slave to this nutrient timing and stopping each, I know what that's like. I wouldn't have appreciated someone I respect, rocking my world. And you might see that happens from time to time. You'll get some new jack and some young science kid with no muscle, kind of new to the game. He's been trained a couple of years and he's acting like a know-it-all, but he's a little persuasive. And he tells you all those things you're doing aren't necessary, right? And he's kind of convincing. And you don't want to hear that because certainty in what you're doing is really important. So it's really important how I explain the transition and how it fits with your goals. Because a lot of fitness experts, where it's everything in the world to them, they will do anything. They'll put in the extra effort, a disproportionate amount of effort. They'll spend 5 more hours a day doing something if it gave them that edge to be better and better at their craft because they love it. It's their identity. That's not how normal people live. Normal people like me, I got 2 kids. I got a wife, stay-at-home wife. I got a business. I work very hard behind the scenes on my craft. I mean, just the technology of this setup here, I got to show you my office. It took a lot of energy. This has nothing to do with my training or eating or what I tell you, but it's all part of the business, right? I'll tell you, Ravi, in fitness, who does the best as business people? They're not the people with the most muscle or the most knowledge. It's the people who go back and do the whole business end, the marketing end. The stuff that you don't see. They buy keywords, they buy SEO words, and then they get more and more of these 7 billion people on the planet loving them for the information they know or for the body that they have, right? That's what I spend my energy doing, cracking that code. Not, trying to get, I look great already. I look great enough. I'm not trying to, dissect a strategy and implement the newest study to get that 0.5%. You only have so much willpower, focus, energy, and time. I look good enough. I balance that out, right? I look great. I feel great. I'm healthy. And then I don't keep on adding to it, right? I got enough, right? Fitness experts add more and more to it and make it more and more complicated, and they love it. They don't know that they're on that journey. Your average person does not need nutrient timing pre and post workout. They just need to train hard, overload the muscle, be consistent, recover, keep on taxing themselves, back it up with nutrition, the right amount of macro calories, and it doesn't even have to be that specific, and the right amount of calories, and be consistent with it, and do it over time. Those organizing principles. Where pre and post workout nutrition comes, that's just for these elite fitness, like guys like me, who I sat around waiting for my next meal because I was thinking about a contest, visualizing what I look on stage 6 months from now, right? Those are the type of people who are giving you these strategies, and regular people are going, oh, I can't do this, right? And, like everything I told you, all the supplements I endorse, I sometimes I hear, people on that end of the camera say, they don't take those supplements. I took every one at every time that I said. I never said I took a supplement that I didn't. Because you know why? Number one, I got them for free. Why not? Unless they were going to kill me, right? They're sold in nutrition stores. Of course I'm going to take it. If it gave me that 1% difference, I've done all this work. It's my reputation. Of course I took them. And I got them for free. Okay, now you tell me, I don't know from the meal replacements to the creatine with the sugars and, the ALA, the CLA, all those supplements. I have no idea how much they cost because, again, I'm just being honest with you. They were free. But let's just say that, it would have been $400 a month, let's say. I don't even know. Again, I got them for free, right? Let's just say to have pre, post-workout, take all these supplements, right? I had to pay for it out of my pocket. And let's just say it was $400. I have no idea, right? I'll tell you what. Look at what I look like with no supplements in my body, right? Okay? I'm not going to spend $400 to just have that 1% difference when that could go to my kid's college education, right? Or buy, my son, a new basketball outfit, or pay for their soccer league or whatever. That money isn't going to go there, right? The fitness expert, it is. And that's what they're telling you, So I hope that I'm putting that into perspective, right? I'm going to talk a lot more about all this. I'm going to come from a perspective that you're never going to, it's not seen in the fitness world, where I was that hardcore fitness person, right? Everything I said, just as more of a zealot. You think these guys are passionate? I've been 100 times more passionate than them. That's why I'm doing this with this type of fervor 20 years later, right? And then I balanced out my life. I really did. I didn't just talk about it. I really did. I worked on those other areas. And here I am at 55 years old, looking like this with this eating strategies, supplement strategies, at 55 years old, with a family, with responsibility. I've got a whole different look. I'm going to be just as passionate. I've got the credibility of everything I've earned. Someone can't pass me off as, oh, he's just not that passionate. Well, his body isn't that great. What? Dude, I was 10 times more passionate than you. I'm just passionate in a different way. I'm going to bring you some information and inspiration that nobody in this fitness world delivers, right? Because I want you to have the truth that works. And here's the thing is, if you have $500 to spend on supplements, you want to go for it, right? But what I don't want are guys thinking, well, I don't have all this money for supplements, so they go broke doing it, or they can't afford it, and they think, here's the number one question I get. What's the best protein powder? I can just click their link. They got to learn so much more about training. They got to get into their training, right? But they kind of think, and again, I'm not saying the supplement industry does this or whatever, but their illusion is, I can't do this. I can't have a great body unless I put all these supplements, pre and post workout, and I'm not even paying attention to my job or my girlfriend, because I'm all tired. Listen, I lived that life. I suffered in that way because of it. I don't want you to either give up your life because you think you have to have the body that you want, and at the same time, I don't want you to quit because you can't do all this nutrient time. You can't pay $400 a month for supplements. None of those are true. And I'm going to have that perfect balance. You stick on this YouTube channel, I'm going to bring you what you need to look amazing, look awesome, enjoy the journey, and become awesome at it, right? And it's going to come from a different perspective than anywhere you see. Because I was like those guys, right? And I'm like I am now, like how your dad should act, right? And I'm still looking amazing, and I'm still healthy. I'm going to tell you how to do it from all that perspective. Can you tell I'm a little bit worked up about this? Let's see. Why do the food choices need to be low in fat and in fiber as well? I think in the past you referred to the anabolic nutrient timing. First of all, okay, I didn't invent the anabolic nutrient timing. That was, but I followed it. I told you all the reasons why. Hey, I'm with this supplement company. This is cutting edge stuff. I'll do it. So I did everything that I said. I'm telling you the way I think now. Food choices don't necessarily need to be low in fat and low in fiber as well. In that I don't even subscribe to this whole nutrient timing thing in the big picture. Bang for the buck. Like I said, let me just tell you, I don't eat. I look this way at 55. I don't do any of that nutrient timing at all, okay? All right, so Ravi knows you have to take action. Good, let's do that, brother. As you can see, I'm here to help. Let's see here. Skip, I often find that when someone asks me the question about losing body fat, what they are really asking is, how can I lose fat and still eat junk food? Yeah. That's true because there's so many, since the beginning of time almost, everybody tries to lose body fat and be healthy. So there's a lot of money to be made. And there's something called Occam's razor, if you know what that is. You can kind of look that up, Occam's razor. And that's that whatever solution is in life, whether it's, I don't know, how to make $1 million or have the relationship or lose body fat, everybody wants to find out what's the easiest thing, Occam's razor. What's the easy thing? Well, that's the answer, right? And so everybody's promising you that, right? And so when people know that there's sacrifice, they try to do it in the past, they just want to, if they're going to go, they know there's going to be sacrifice involved. They just don't want to waste their time. So they want the least amount of suffering, the most amount of enjoyment with the maximum results in the shortest period of time. And really, if you think about that, right? And if they kind of heard that people promise that, they just don't know if you're the right source, right? What's wrong with, I want to look amazing. I want to be healthy. I want to be lean. I'm fat right now, right? What's wrong with wanting the diet that gets the best results, right? You lose that fat, and if you care, preserve that muscle. So can you give me a diet where I preserve the muscle, I lose the fat? I do them both in the shortest period of time, all right? And I do the least suffering, and I can enjoy the most food, right? So what they're asking, whether they realize it or not, is what's going to help me lose the body fat, preserve the muscle, give me the results in the shortest period of time. I do the least amount of suffering, and I can enjoy the great mood-altering entertainment things with my friends and family food. I can enjoy the most food. All right? Lose the body fat, preserve the muscle, do them both in the shortest period of time, the least amount of suffering, and I can enjoy the most of this enjoyable food. What's wrong with that? That's the diet I want. That's what they're asking you, right? And think about it. Is there anything wrong with asking you that? No, I mean, that's just smart. But the illusion is there is this diet out there, and they go from one place to one place to one place. A certain amount of work, just like everything. You know, building a YouTube channel, building a tribe. Here I am with talking to 5 people here. You know, I got to put in my time if I'm and day by day by day and go through the frustration and the work and everything. I got to do that, you know, for a extended period of time. I just can't expect results. So that's with your diet, that's with your business, that's with your relationships, that's building a YouTube channel. People don't want to do that, right? There's this illusion that it's just, there's got to be an easier way. People are promising another way. Can you tell me the easier way, right? And the hardest thing is, because they know they have to work, it's just they want to work the least and suffer the least, right? It's a good question, but it's just frustrating because it doesn't work out that way, right? Okay, so there's some good questions here, guys. Thank you. This is going to be a good session here. So Wing says, have you modified your training as you've gotten older? I have. Again, I guess it's all relative because, you know, like I don't train it with a partner so that I have a certain level of less certainty, especially like I said, you know, my body's good enough. I've got enough muscle at 55, right? Someone asked me, are you still gaining muscle at your age? I could care less about gaining muscle. I don't want to just give it away, right? I know how to hit the muscle. I know the weight, right? Okay, so my whole mindset of why I'm in the gym has changed, right? That's number one. I'm not trying to be a champion. I'm not doing whatever it takes for that 1 ounce of muscle or lose that body fat. I don't have a deadline to be on stage in my banana hammock, my posing trunks, right? So I'm in a whole different mental condition. At the same time as training heavy, I am not going to sacrifice it with a wife and kids. You know, I pay a lot of money for health insurance living in the United States, right? I pay a lot of money for health insurance and life insurance and things like that because I got to be responsible. I got a wife and 2 kids, right? Am I going to really push it that hard where I could be hurt? Just think if I tore something, right? Knock on wood that I don't do that. And just have to be on pain medications because they got to reattach something, right? I'm the sole provider for my family. I wouldn't be talking to you. I wouldn't be able to do my one-on-one coaching around the world, right? Just because I went for 1 more rep with 5 more pounds, right? When I was a younger man, I didn't have that responsibility. I want to be a champion. So yeah, my whole mindset's changed. I don't train as heavy. I try to still instinctively through so many years, I hit that muscle. I don't train lightly, but I'm really focused on the form, feel, and execution more, right? And so, you know, it comes from a different mindset, and then you can fill in the blank backwards. So, you know, less weight, I you know, I don't have a training part, which makes a difference. Maybe a lot less thought goes into my training. I go on everything that I've learned. Where my training is, that's why I love shooting videos for you, right? Because I got to step up and do all the things. I got that extra layer of accountability. But you know, that's the answer. What it's how it's changed. I'm probably a lot more conservative in it. And you know, where your energy goes, where you focus, you can't help but become better and better at it, right? And I admittedly say that even though I look amazing at my age, I'm not putting even. I would say that when I was, you know, the champion bodybuilder, I would put in 11 out of 10 for me. I would say to look like this, it's like a 6 out of 10. I'm just consistent, and that's what gets the results. I hope that's a good, honest answer for you. I want to lose weight while building muscle. What's your views on this? Yeah, you can build muscle and while you're losing body fat, but it really depends. Like, are you brand new to training? Right? Are you real fat because you haven't been concentrating on that? You know, if you're kind of newer to training or you're really fat, hell, you lift weights, you're going to build muscle. You diet, you're going to lose body fat. Yes, you can do it at the same time. See, this is this whole fitness zealot stuff that they can't climb out of their brain. They're thinking next level, next level, next level, next level, higher, higher, and higher, right? And they don't know that their audience is just a few years into training, right? What they're telling you, oh, you can't do it at the same time. They're talking about like after you've maximized all their time, like you had 8 years of training like them, and you're just really lean like them. And now, the leaner you are, the more muscle you have, the longer you've been training, you're not new to the process. Now it becomes a lot more, you know, challenging to do them both at the same time. But most people are so far away from that. The fitness zealots, they don't understand who they're talking to. But that's what makes them so great. That's why they come up to the camera all the time, because they're so passionate, but they just lose. You know, they're thinking at 82 levels higher than their audience, but they just don't realize it. Right? Which is great if they could do that. You know, that's fine. Do your thing. I know what that's like. But the challenge is you. When you think, well, I can't build muscle and lose body fat, right? So I'll just stay fat and I'll just build muscle. Well, depending on your journey, unless you get it really refined, you've been doing it, yeah, you can do it at the same time. You know, they're two separate functions, right? And if you do everything gradually where you have the most amount of calories, in the macronutrient combination, and you do it gradually, sure you can. But again, it comes down to that law of diminishing returns, that everything in life is more isn't going to make it easier. Let's see here. Let's see here. You are right, Skip. I think it's just my passion and zealot I have for this lifestyle. I know I am winning this game. Yeah. No, and that's great. So appreciate that. Go for it, right? But the thing is, what I think is to be the best coach and leader is being, not just going in your mind, but being able to empathize and step into the shoes of the person you're serving, and, you know, you're helping. Right, and give them strategies that will get them to the next level, because they don't nearly need to be as complicated to the level that you're at. So it's really not about you. Do your thing, right? But it's understanding that you may be making things too complicated for those people who don't need those strategies, and they can, you know, they can be really successful. Let's see here. My God, I've never seen someone at your age look this ripped and on point. You know, my goal is, I kind of talk about it. I've been putting from what I could put into it, because, you know, this whole business and balance of life, you know, I don't make my money from my physique. It's just a part of the advertisement, right? It's the mind. I get up early in the morning. I have one-on-one coaching class where we talk about their life. You know, I'm not talking fitness with my guys, right? It's this whole discipline, this whole skill set that I have that goes beyond the sets and reps that I work very hard to master, right? And because of it, I would say on my physical body compared to when I was that bodybuilder, I put it at 11 out of 10. I was that committed. This is a 6 out of 10. But I made the goal to be the most fit 55-year-old man on the planet, who's a businessman, who's a family man, right? Not to be, owner of a supplement company. Someone, I think, says, then you haven't seen Kevin Levrone. Well, I don't know about Kevin Levrone's lifestyle or what he does or whatever. I don't even know if he's 55, right? Because if he's not 55, then we're not in the same category, right? But anyway, I'm making my goal to be the most fit 55-year-old man, businessman, family man on the planet. That's my new goal. Again, while I'm executing all this other stuff, right? But thank you for that compliment, Hema. It's interesting how the most successful people have the credentials in their education and career, but don't put to what they work into their nutrition. Ravi, I guess what I mean, that's interesting. And again, this is part of, I'm trying to help passionate fitness people crack the code. I'm interested in how you define successful, right? So you're saying they're successful, they have the credentials, but they don't, put it in their physique. And that's a good point, but see, that's the whole thing, right? See, your definition of successful, you put a disproportionate amount into how your body looks, right? So the more extreme it is, in your mind, that's a key ingredient to be successful. But that's your definition. But let me tell you something, the more and more your extreme gets, that doesn't make you healthier. You don't even have to have visible abs and you're healthy. So getting deeper abs, you sacrifice, you starve yourself, you're in a bad mood, right? You got to do more cardio. You got to suffer for deeper abs. But that does not make you healthier. You don't even need abs to be healthy. So, see, you're adding something on to being successful, right? I think what you're saying, tell me if I'm right, Ravi, is that they make a lot of money. They've got a great fan base. They're doing seminars and everything. It's because they have the credentials, whatever. And they look okay. They're not fat and obese, but they don't have an extreme physique, right? I think that's what you're saying, and you're right about that. But here's the thing is, see, you've added this freaky physique and championships or whatever onto being successful. They don't have that in their definition, right? And so they put less energy there because it comes from somewhere. The guy with the extreme physique, he has to put more energy to have that extreme physique, right? And you're putting less emphasis on what that guy did to be successful, to have those seminars, to have that fan base. And I'm telling you, it's things that fitness people don't even think about. What it is, they're working on keywords. They have a guy working on their Facebook ads. They're investing money in that. They're working at an SEO, so they put up a video. And it's not them being so great that gets those 10,000 views. Is they went on the business so Joe Blow's 50 years old and says, how to build muscle. And he has the perfect keyword and everything. So that guy with that body you think is just okay, right? He worked on all that. So he talks about being fit, do this, do that. Mr. 50-year-old is just wants to get in shape for the first time. He runs it in his video. And there's 7 billion people on the planet, and they're all going to his video and not yours, the extreme fit guy. Okay? And then he gives them move more, eat less. They like him. Hey, I want to give this guy my money. I want to buy his ebook. I want to get coaching with him. To be quote unquote successful, and I think you're talking about making a business out of it, making money, having fans, paying you money, right? You don't need all that extra energy on your physique. He's successful because he's allocating his willpower, focus, energy, and time to become successful. Where you're not doing those things, you don't even know what they are because you're putting this extra effort in this extreme physique, and then you're looking at him saying, "How can you be successful? You're not that ripped, or you don't have that much muscle. You're doing something wrong." No. It's your mathematical equation to how to be successful. Your math is off. His math is right. Now, the thing about it is I come from the same background as you. My goal, my job is for us, let's just call us muscleheads, where they're businessmen, right? My goal is to be like them, and I'm working very hard to know what they know and be just as extreme and passionate as you, Ravi, like us. I want to be both, right? Not one or the other, right? But that's an excellent question. And I'll tell you, I would build a whole career on helping guys like us, Ravi. And if you've seen my efforts, I've tried. But, you know, at least you're asking the question. There's so many fitness guys who just, they have that little distinction of why they're successful and the extreme physique isn't. They don't even ask the question, let alone get on the journey to do it. And I've tried to reach out. I've tried to help them. I try to work on the mindset and strategies. They're so firm that this is the right way to do it, and they watch all these other average physique fitness people who know an average amount become successful, and they're suffering because they don't have the equation right. And I can't break through. And I'll tell you is that, I would love to help those people out, but here's the thing, is it's such a resistant group. They just want to keep on training and get more ripped and stop in the middle of a conversation for their nutrient timing in their meal. And they do that for years and years and years. They don't even get on a track to crack the code to be quote unquote successful in business, right? So how can I break through that they reevaluate all that thinking it's not working and they're getting older, right? When I have successful businessmen who are 45 years old in Sydney, educators, doctors, right, who pay me good money to talk to me every week to talk about their life goals, right? They want me, they're receptive, they're willing to put some skin in the game, they listen, right? I'm not a martyr. You know, Jesus Christ came a long time ago. I got a family to feed, right? They want my help, they appreciate my help, they pay for my help, they listen to my help. I would love to help fitness people kind of make this shift. But if they're not receptive, I can't make them think it, you know? It's just that get older. Man, how long can you be a personal trainer, right? You got to be scared. You get to 40 years old, well, I'm not doing anything to change. How's it going to be different at 45 or 50 or 55? What do I can understand if you're 25 years old, you're thinking, well, I'm going to do something someday. But what do you do when you're 40? What do you do when you're 45? You know, now it's 20 years since you were 25. What are you going to do? What's the plan? There is no plan. Can you tell me I'm passionate about that too, Ravi? I got a lot of passion, guys. I love this live format. Thanks to all of you 7 here. I can do this for you all the time, right? Instead of me thinking in my head and I get on camera, in this video, I'm going to talk about this. Man, I get turned on by you guys asking questions. That's when you can get what's in my heart and in my head, right? I need to do more of these live videos on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys in these questions, right? Okay, I was referring to people that are successful in their careers, such as doctors and lawyers. Oh, and are overweight and also want a great physique. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm working with one of my clients who's a doctor. And actually, he's going to be my co-host, on a podcast coming up, right? And he's a very successful doctor in that same exact position. And we've got this whole branding thing because I'm telling you, yeah, we as fitness people think, wow, you're smart, you're successful. Why can't you just move more, eat less? Well, it isn't because they're not smart. It has everything to do with these priorities. But I'll just tell you this, Ravi, before we start worrying about why doctors and lawyers are fat and overweight, let's break it down to fitness people who are smart and hardworking. Why are they broke? Why are they boxing themselves in to not have any options? Why are they suffering like that? They're smart. They can do it. Why don't they learn the business skills? See, we all have these things that we're great at, and we have this blind spot that's not our identity. Could we do it? Could fitness people make more money to take care of themselves? Yeah, there's 7 billion people on the planet in the internet, right? But will they? Will they crack the code? Will they dedicate themselves? Well, there's something else, and that's what my coaching is all about. I help you climb into your mind and figure out why you don't do it. And the doctors and lawyers, it's the same thing. What, they can't eat more and eat less? Hell, just look on YouTube. There's some fitness expert. He looks amazing, and he's got a very low IQ. He's not that smart, and he can figure it out. Of course, those doctors and lawyers can figure out to move more, eat less. It's more complicated than that, and that's what my passion is. That's what this mindset is all about. So Ravi says, that's why I look up to you, because I want that family as well one day. I know it's more than just muscles. Ravi, again, so Ravi says, I know I'll be 40 next year and time goes by quick. Man, Ravi, I didn't retire until I was 41 years old. And I'll tell you, when you're in it, you're good at it, everything, time slips by. I feel so fortunate. I feel very fortunate to have the family to work through all this stuff that I'm sharing with. That's why I'm so passionate to pass it down, but the audience has to be receptive. Ravi, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to apply a little bit of pain, because if you really think about it, probably with the people you coach with fitness, when they get connected to the pain, why they must stop eating, why they must get to the gym, pain is a driving force. And this is what I want you to think about. You're 40 years old right now. Okay? That means I don't even know if you're in a girlfriend right now, but I know you're not going to have a kid until 41 at the very earliest, right? I'm not even sure if you're in a relationship. For me, because I didn't address those issues, I just put it off. I had to work on me first. That's what manformation is about. I had to work on me first, because I didn't just want to get married and then, have it all collapse. So I had to work on me first, which took time. Then I found my wife. I'll tell you this. Like I said, I'm 55 years old. I've got a 4-year-old, and I've got a 2.5-year-old boy. I feel as though I just barely made it. Okay, just under the wire. I'm so thankful. But here's the thing is, I use this to drive me and hug tighter and provide for my family that, let's face it, when they're 30 years old, I'm probably going to be dead. Okay? Because I farted around like you are. Right? If you have a kid, tomorrow, Ravi, at 41, okay, you're going to be 61 when they're just barely out of high school. Right? How much more time are you going to waste before you make your manformation and get going? And trust me, I have helped out so many men kind of crack this code. I know that part of the reason is because you're a personal trainer. You can't afford. Again, nobody knows who you are, and, I could be wrong. Let's just say I was wrong. But if you can't afford a family and you're running around 6 days a week as a personal trainer, you got to do something different. Right? Because I know a lot of great guys who wanted a family, right? But they were personal trainers and they didn't break out of that. And so they knew they couldn't afford the girl they wanted. They were kind of ashamed that they weren't making enough money. They didn't have that together. So it's like, well, when I get that together, then I'll meet the woman. And of course, you got to have that together before you have the children to do it responsibly. And the guys are good guys who are responsible. But time goes by and they never made it happen. And it's not because they're not smart. It's not because they're not hardworking. It's this mindset stuff, right? We're all capable of so much more, but it's cracking that code. I know I got real serious here. As you can tell, I'm passionate about a lot of subjects. I really appreciate you guys on YouTube. When I kind of came on here, I didn't know I'd be talking for 58 minutes, and I didn't know the subject matter that I'd be talking about. I think that during this broadcast, you probably got to know a different side of me and got a taste of all the different areas and all the insight that I have in my 55 years on the planet, my 28 years as a fitness leader, but also my 33 years in personal development, motivation, mindset, working with the masters. And that's the stuff you didn't see when I was winning championships. I got a lot that I want to share with you, and I really appreciate you being on this channel. Spread the word. I want to come to you more live. Think about your questions, your life questions too, not just your training questions. I've got so much I want to share with you guys. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me kind of share one thing too. And I see there's some more questions streaming, and I'll spend the extra time to be here. If you've waited around for 58 minutes, 59 minutes, I'm glad you're here. As you can see, just like when I was a bodybuilder, I leave it on the floor, right? But here's something that I want to tell you about. And again, if you get on my Facebook page too, because I'm there more often all throughout the day. I'm going to be more here on YouTube. I love you guys. You guys are more committed, I think, than a lot of people on Facebook. So I got to get over here more. But I'm doing this test group. Now, let me just tell you, it's absolutely free. So Ravi, you got to go here and apply for this. I call it the 10 by 10 by 30 Man Formation Plan Test Group. The 10 by 10 by 30 Man Formation Test Group. All right. It's this plan. I'm going to take 10 guys, so it's going to be the 11 of us. And again, I'm throwing out to all of my social media platforms, so you need to apply for this, right? There's a questionnaire that you're going to fill out. So 10 guys, 11 of us are going to go meet on this conference line. You don't have to be there live, but it'll be good. I have a direction, an assignment, and things to think about to shift your mindset for 10 minutes a day. But it's going to be more than that. We'll probably talk personally throughout that time. So the 11 of us, 10 men for 10 minutes a day on this international conference line for 30 days straight, right? No weekends off. We're going to create real change in our lives, right? Become our best both inside and outside the gym. That's what Man Formation is all about. All right, so you need to apply for this. Here's where you're going to, this is the link that you're going to go. So it's skiplacour.com/10 by 10 by 30. skiplacour.com/10x 30, right? Those numerals there. It's right there on the screen. You apply for it. It's absolutely free. And I'll contact you either way. Because if I get so many people who want to do it, they're all committed, I'll just do it again. But you want to get in on this first group. So if you love what I'm saying, you know, all this knowledge, all this insight that I've learned over the years about becoming your best both inside and outside the gym, the training and the lifestyle and the career and the family, and you want to be the total package, then you want to apply to be in this test group. All right. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about that. I really appreciate this opportunity, guys, that you're with me here on Facebook. I'll tell you, I accomplished a lot of things as a bodybuilder, but I'll tell you, when it's all said and done, what I do to help you with your entire life, muscle guys like us, it's gonna blow away anything I accomplished as a bodybuilder. You can bet on that. I'm the world's leading Man Formation expert, right? So you want to be a part of that focus group. All right, let's see. So Ravi says, I work in the corporate world and I have a good career. It's just that I want to find a woman that's into fitness as well. Oh, okay, so Ravi, you're not into the fitness business, is that right? I think I've been talking from that assumption. So what do you do for a living, right? Yeah, but even those things, even the crack in the code to find a woman, you know, I've got a lot of insight on that too. Like I said, I had a very extensive dating career for a lot of my life. And let me just tell you, the single people, especially like in their 30s and 40s, giving out dating advice and how to find your soulmate and what to watch out for and not. Let me just tell you, until they've made it to the other side, it's just theory. It's like that guy who doesn't have a great body who's telling you how to, well, a champion should be able to do this. Let me just tell you, sometimes the most subtle distinctions make all the difference. And I see a lot of people, really, who should be given the advice for dating and finding that right woman? Really, it's someone who's already done it and already lived it, right? And ideally, it should be someone like me who struggled, who got it all wrong, who thought like all the other single and talked to a lot of single people who were clueless, but he was gritty and resourceful and finally made it to the other side. Just by gritty and resourceful, I find the distinctions and strategies, right? Not because I was naturally good at it. If you read the excerpts to my upcoming book, It's a Matter of Trust, Confessions of a Recovering Bodybuilder, you'll see that I wasn't myself in a good place to have relationships until I kind of figured a lot of things out. Okay, so Ravi, you're into real estate. Okay, great. That's even better. That's even better, right? Anyway, that information hopefully is helpful. All right, guys. As you can see, I can talk forever. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the great quality questions. I want to believe that, I offered you some quality answers. I definitely gave you some passionate answers. All right. So have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day. Think big and think bigger than getting bigger. Okay, Ravi, reach out, brother. Don't talk, do it.